I'm so sick of picking this Pittsburgh team. I think I picked them to go 4-1 over the last 5 weeks, and they've gone 0-5. So I'm so sick of I'm so sick of this. I really am. But they lost 13-6. Terrible game. It was kind of cool to see Cleveland do what they did because Pittsburgh's a team that they haven't beaten in forever, and to see them get it done the way they did, while not fun to watch, was a little endearing, I guess, something like that. So, what are you gonna say about a game like that? The play calling was terrible for Pittsburgh. Weather was terrible, so there was very little offensive. There was very little to be done offensively. Um, Lots of dropped passes, lots of sloppy play. But Joshua Cribbs, man, he pretty much won that game for Cleveland. I was impressed with his jack of all trades thing that he did, and he's the only thing other than the Cleveland pass rush that I think is worth noting in this game because it was a terrible, terrible game. And I'm gonna pick Green Bay to beat Pittsburgh next week, and with the way they've been treating me this year, they're probably gonna win. I can't catch a break picking games that involve Pittsburgh. It's terrible. But okay, moving on from that early loss, which is a brutal one. I got New Orleans beating Atlanta in Atlanta. No Matt Ryan. I don't know what's going on with Michael Turner, but even if those guys were there, the Atlanta secondary is a freaking mess, and I don't know how they stop Breeze, and I think they get shredded. I think they just don't have what it takes to stand up to New Orleans. It's a bad matchup. And I know the first game in New Orleans was a good game, but that game had Matt Ryan, and I think it had Michael Turner too, and it doesn't look like they'll be here. Green Bay at Chicago. I don't know why this spread is only 4 in favor of Green Bay. This Chicago team sucks. I mean, I know they have 5 wins or whatever, but I really do think that they're just it's not so much of how they're losing games. It's just depressing to watch, like watching them against Cincinnati and Arizona, just completely incapable of stopping anything. So when you look at games like that, you look at the close games that they lose and all that. Um, I I just think they're really bad, and I don't know why Green Bay isn't a heavy favorite. I know it's in Chicago. I know it's a rivalry, but you know what? Does it really matter? Chicago, a couple times this year, have shown to be arguably the worst defense in the league, and they may be the most turnover-prone team in the league. So 11 confidence points in Green Bay. And if I didn't say how many confidence points I had in the Saints, it was 12. Denver and Indianapolis, it's not a gimme, but I don't see how Denver's back completely yet. So I'm going to pick Indianapolis, 6 confidence points. If Denver can bring a good pass rush like they have a few times this year, I think they can stand up to it, but stand a chance, that is. But more than likely, I don't know if their secondary can hold up long enough. They got a good secondary, but I don't think it's going to hold up well enough against Indy to get a win. So, that's going to be a good game. Hope I can check it out, but it's hard for me to pick against Indy until they lose. Buffalo at Kansas City. Hmm. God, both teams suck. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put some faith in Arrowhead and affecting the game, and I'm going to say Kansas City 4 confidence points. But, God. This Kansas City team, the way they buck trends, the way they just terrible, terrible team. I wouldn't be surprised if they eschewed the advantage of Arrowhead and just blew it anyway. But yeah, sure. Kansas City 4 confidence points. Cincinnati at Minnesota. Not too confident in this Minnesota team. I think they're better. I think they will win. Cincinnati, not a lot of offensive firepower. I don't totally trust them. But I'm going to say 3 confidence points in Minnesota. Right now, with the season wearing on long, and Brett Favre having thrown so many passes and taken as many hits as he has this year, I don't trust him. 4 confidence points. No, three confidence points in Minnesota. Carolina at New England. I don't think New England's a very good team. I think that they're heavily flawed, and I think they won't be making any serious run this year. But losing three in a row, that to Carolina at home would be uh, something. I don't know exactly what I should put at the end of that, but I don't see it happening. That would just be too much. So 15 confidence points in New England. New York Jets at Tampa Bay minus Mark Sanchez. I don't care. That Tampa Bay team is bad. They, I, they're just bad. I mean, I think teams finally got some game tape on Josh Freeman and kind of figured him out. So I'm gonna go with 10 confidence points in the Jets. I don't see how Tampa Bay stops or does anything against that defense, even though if it is a little overrated, it's still good. Miami at Jacksonville. This was tough. What I'm gonna say is Miami's feeling really good about themselves after last week after beating New England, and I think they have a little bit of a letdown game and let Jacksonville sneak in and take it. 2 confidence points in Jacksonville. But I don't like this matchup one bit. I don't know what to think of either team. I mean, I don't know if either team's good. I couldn't tell you. Detroit at Baltimore, 16 confidence points in Baltimore. I don't gotta say nothing. Baltimore, they have issues, but they can beat up on bad teams. No problem. Seattle at Houston, 5 confidence points in Houston for reasons already said. St. Louis at Tennessee. I like Tennessee to bounce back. They were hanging around in the Indy game, even though they lost by 2 scores. They were kind of sort of hanging around, which is admirable, I suppose. And St. Louis, they're St. Louis. 14 confidence points in the Titans. Should be a easy victory. Washington at Oakland, cross-country trip. Washington's missing 3 key players, but I think Washington's good, and I think I'm going to take them seriously. I think I'm going to treat them like a good team, even though they're 3-9. 9 confidence points in Washington. I might regret this one because it's all the way over in California and long plane ride, but screw it. I think Washington is good and just has a hard time finishing the deal against good teams. So I'm going to say they beat somebody bad. San Diego at Dallas. I had no idea what to do here, but I'll tell you what. San Diego's due to lose a game. They've won so many in a row. I think it's time for them to lose a game. So I'm going to pick Dallas 1 confidence point because I don't trust either of these coaches further than I can throw them. And in the case of Wade Phillips, I can't throw Wade Phillips at all. So fuck it. Philadelphia at New York. Bad matchup for the Giants. I'm not completely confident that Andy Reid doesn't blow the game. I think this is just a terrible matchup for the Giants. So 8 confidence points in the Eagles. And finally, Arizona at San Francisco. I'm going to be a little cautious. Arizona must feel really good about themselves right now. They might let down. I'm going to say 7 confidence points in Arizona. Alright, that's all the picks. So I'll see you guys after the games. And I'm out.